So I heard you guys were just doing preparing something this week while you're together. Is that something you can talk about now, or do we
Yeah.
need to wait until later?
So yes, we are preparing for our music video for our new song Jia Xian, which is the song that kind of went viral online,
Baby, let me move that body. Let me get a picket on me.
where
Hmm.
we danced at Juan's wedding. And yeah, we're pretty pumped about that. That's literally the very first music video that we would be doing after TimeZ, our old group. So pretty excited.
Yeah, that video, when I saw it, I was like, okay, immediate follow, immediate add to playlist.
Oh my God, thank
It
you.
it was so good. And then when I was speaking with you, I was like, let me look up his other stuff. And I was like, wait, I've been listening to his music for so long.
I
It's
know
like,
you when you told me like goosebumps. I was like, oh my God,
no, like
everything's gonna
literally, because when I looked it up, I saw a star beside California Drive. I was like, oh wait, because I listen to so many artists, and every month
yeah,
I have a new playlist for every single month, and it's like
yeah.
you've been on my playlist for like 2 years
That's
at this point.
cool.
You guys debuted in 2012 with Times and everything. What made you guys want to debut as artists? In the beginning, I know we're going back 13 years. But
Yeah.
what made you guys want to debut as music artists?
왜냐면은 어렸을 때부터 이 일이 너무 하고 싶었어요. 일단 어렸을 때부터 TV를 통해서 많은 가수분들, 많은 선배님분들의 그런 무대를 보고, 나도 저 무대에 쓰고 싶다라는 생각을 너무 많이 했었거든요. 어렸을 때부터. 그래서 어렸을 때부터 회사에 오디션도 보러 다니고, 노래도 배우고, 춤도 배우면서 좋은 기회가 생겨서 데뷔도 할 수 있게 됐고, 또 지금까지 오게 된 것 같습니다.
For me, yes, same. Is actually a funny story. So I grew up listening to Michael Jackson. It's very,
MJ.
yeah, it's very uncommon for a Chinese kid grow up listening to Michael Jackson, but I did for some reason. It really inspired me, and immediately from when I was like 3, I immediately knew that I want to do this for the rest of my life. So same with Juan. I was doing a lot of auditions and came across this before I decided to go to the US for college. And this opportunity came in. So I was like, why not? Last chance. So that's why we were brought together.
Yes.
I know.
It's wild you saying last chance because you and I are exactly 2 months apart and thinking,
Really?
yeah, I'm June 10th and you're April 10th from at least
Yeah.
that's what the website said.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
but yeah, because like we think 2012, that's 13 years ago. Since we're the same age, I'm kind of like that's not that long ago. But
Right.
in
But
in music, it's like wow, it's like second, end of
yeah,
second, third gen. So it's because I guess the industry moves so quickly and there's so many artists debuting. It feels like so long ago, but really like if it's
it
like
was
the Western world, it's really not that long at all.
exactly, exactly. Now that I think about it, it really feels like last year, to be honest. And back then, we were also very young, and I think from my point of view, it was just like, am I too old for this? You know how the industry work, right?
Mhm.
Like, unfortunately, but um, very commonly the age range is going down and down. So at the time, I thought that was the last chance, but obviously it's not. So
Mhm.
we have more opportunities now, more exposure from, we have TikTok, we have YouTube Shorts, Reels. So yeah, right now it's never too late, I feel like, for now.
So you guys were a Chinese Korean group, and at the time that was the same time EXO was doing the same thing, and I think now we don't really see groups do, oh, we're Chinese Korean, but at that time I guess we were, combining the two and making it like known for the group that hey, we're Chinese Korean group, you know.
Yeah.
Were there any language barriers or any like cultural differences between members at that
Yeah.
time that you had to kind of navigate?
일단 처음에는 되게 어려웠던 거는 맞는 것 같아요. 왜냐면은 일단 언어도 다르고 문화도 다르고 일단 어휘가 다르다 보니까 그 부분에서는 되게 힘들었는데 처음에 이제 멤버들이랑 같이 생활하면서 중국말도 많이 하게 되고, 또 모르는 게 있으면은 바로 옆에 있으니까 바로 물어볼 수 있어서 그 부분에서 되게 많이 도움을 줬던 같아요, 저한테. 그래서 그때 많이 중국어 실력도 많이 늘고, 그리고 중국어 노래를 할 때도 많이 이해를 할 수 있게 돼가지고, 예. 그때 많이 괜찮았던 것 같아요.
Even though I learned Korean for a little bit before I went into the group, but still I wasn't fluent at all. Like I spoke like an elementary, maybe even less than elementary student. But um yes, there's a lot of cultural difference, language barriers for sure, and we had to kind of talk to each other a lot because we see each other every day. So I think from there, like with more understanding each day um and now we really just for this song too, Ma Jia Xian, we don't really need to talk about a lot of things. We kind of just
예.
look at each other and we're just like, yeah. hmm So I think that's a really good experience for us to build that trust till this day. Yeah.
And then off topic, but Aaron, did you grow up in China and then go to
Yes,
Korea? Or okay, so you grew up in China, but you live in Korea. Juan, you grew up in Korea and now you live in China.
exactly,
맞지.
exactly. It's very confusing for us. A lot of
Uh,
people ask that, and we're like, "Yep,
음,
yep, exactly. This is what it is." Yeah,
your debut idol Mamanse Hooray for Idols was very bright, very different from Awaken. So I wanted to know, like, what were your thoughts finding out that you would be debuting with that style? Because they are two very different styles. And also it's
yeah,
like it's definitely a more like we would see artists that are like 15, 16 do that these days, but back then
yeah.
it was a little more common for someone, let's see, 2012. So that was what, when you were 18, Aaron?
Yeah,
17?
17.
17, 18?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So what was it like when you first found out you'd be doing this bright style?
To be honest, we hated it when we first listened to it. Oh my God. We're like, this is not what we signed up for. Before
음,
we debuted, there were EXO who came out first, and we thought, ooh, maybe we could do something like EXO. And other groups, like secretly making comparison and kind of expecting like a cooler concept rather than like, cutesy and like very adorable. We hated it, but we had to accept it and start loving it because like I kind of believe that if you don't love your song enough, other people are not going to like it either. So we kind of adopted it very well. And then yeah, like from there, it's kind of like a journey where you're a kid and then grow up to awaken. And that's how we see it, how we perceive it.
Yeah, it was definitely a very like wild concept, especially at that time when everything was a lot darker, a lot of styles. Do you think it would have been, how do you think it would have been different if you would have debuted with that darker style at that time? Do you think the trajectory would have changed with your career? How do you think it would change?
Well, that's a really good question. Uh, I think it would definitely change something. I think the reason that we kind of went popular right off the bat in China, I can't say for Korea, but in China was because of the style. It's different from other group, we kind of stand out. Um, and yeah, if we went with the cooler style, we probably wouldn't have this much recognition even till now in China.
원래 어렸을 때 생각했을 때는 저도 그런 거를 원했고 하고 싶어 했는데 지금 생각해 보면은 솔직히 솔직히 말해서 저는 개인적으로 아이돌 만만세를 그렇게 좋아하진 않아요.
Mhm.
솔직히 말하면은. 근데 지금 생각해 보면은 우리가 아이돌 만만세라는 곡을 부를 수 있었던 게 되게 큰 기회였던 것 같아요. 되게 행운이라고 생각해요.
Yeah,
그 곡을 통해서 되게 많은 것들을 얻을 수 있어서
yeah.
지금은 되게 행운이라고 생각해요.
At that time, that's I knew people in America who were listening to K-pop, but it was still very niche. It was a very niche genre. And so it didn't have that global, power, that global reach that it does today. So
Yeah.
what was it like back then debuting as an idol, trying to reach that global audience when it really wasn't as big?
Yeah, I think that's a really, really good question. We talked about it too. Now, as I said, we have TikTok, we have YouTube, we have Reels. So it's still hard doing music as an independent artist, but we have more ways to promote, even if we are, no label and trying to do our own thing, trying to promote. There's even though there's, very limited budget, but compared to back then, like you said, it was kind of hard because people don't really know what K-pop was about, and there were only few ways to kind of promote us globally. So there's definitely a huge difference. That's also why we kind of want to come back and try if um you know we can make this thing happen.
When did the group promotions officially end? Because I saw online that it was around like 2016, but then I saw there was like a Chinese release,
Yeah,
2022. Um,
2022.
yeah, so like when would you say the group promotions officially ended? And then what were you guys like up to immediately following that?
Our contract kind of ended around 2016, and later on the release in 2022 was really just voluntary. Like we just wanted to put something out, we want to try things out, and also kind of just telling our fans who are still there that we're still doing music and we still care about you. Um, Kind of like a life update through music. um, yeah, it's kind of a catching up kind of style. It's not a hard comeback launch, but yes, wanted to communicate.
After the contract ended, were there any talks of, hey, let's go to China and try to continue as a group there, maybe under a different company or something? Um, or did some of you do what we've seen, a lot of groups in the past, and you're like, hey, let's just go and try to do a solo career and try to instead? And because you have kind of two countries to choose from at that time.
원래 어렸을 때는 저도 그렇게 생각을 했었어요. 아, 이 그룹이 만약에 어떻게 잘 안 되다, 안 되면은, 다시 뭐 한국에 와가지고 다시 뭐 솔로로 데뷔를 한다든지 뭐 솔로로 그렇게 나서야겠다 생각을 했는데, 지금 와서도 잘 모르겠는데, 그때 당시에 이제 데뷔 3년이 지나고 4년 차 때, 갑자기 그렇게 그룹 활동을 할 수 없게 됐을 때는, 아, 그런 생각이 안 들더라고요. 솔로로 내가 할 수 있을까라는 그때, 그 당시에는 자신감도 많이 없었고, 그래가지고 그쪽으로는 생각을 못 했던 것 같아요. 워낙, 그리고 애초에 그룹에 대한, 개인적으로 그룹에 대한 애정이 되게 컸어요. 그룹으로 계속 하고 싶고, 이, 우리 6명끼리 같이 계속 뭘 하고 싶은데, 갑자기 할 수 없게 되다 보니까, 와, 다른 쪽으로는 그때 생각을 못 했던 것 같아요. 아예.
That's kind of a tricky time because we kind of knew that Awaken was our last release. So I really wanted to put in like my whole effort, like our 100%. Everybody wanted to put in 100%, and this is the concept we like. We also kind of knew that this is going to be our last release as a group, 6 people. So it was a really, really sensitive time because we still have hope. We still had hope at that time, but we also know this is an end. So it's really conflicting inside. When it actually does end, we, like I said, like we were really young and really didn't know how to approach, you know, or how to organize everything. So eventually I went to the state for college and learned more, music business, production, and HWAN. Kept living in China, teaching and doing other stuff. Yeah.
So I know Juan, you didn't really go into music right after it, and then Aaron, like you were saying, you were still seemed like you're still going along that path. But did either of you think about, just giving up music completely and just moving on, and or did you
Oh
always
yeah.
have in the kind of the back of your head about I still want to do something?
Oh yeah, definitely. I almost gave up music. I actually did gave up music for almost 3, 4 years because after the group, we kind of lost confidence in a way. And I really didn't know if people still like to see me singing, performing. So um, I kind of lost interest in music. And It's funny. At that time, my friend in America told me that there's a platform called Douyin, which is a Chinese version of TikTok. I started that, and luckily, I got um, a lot of followers. Very lucky. And at that time, I was just like, oh wow, like people still like to see me and see me singing and doing funny stuff. So that's when I started to, get into music again. It's because of the fans or the people that encouraged me.
솔직히 말씀드리면 아까 전에도 말씀드렸다시피 사실 그룹 활동을 못하게 됐을 때 못하게 되고 활동을 거의 지금 9년 가까이, 9년이라는 시간 동안 못하게 되다 보니까 중간에, 아, 이걸 내가 포기를 해야 되나? 이 길이 내가 갈 수 있는 길이 아닌가 보다 생각했어요. 왜냐면은 우리의 문제가 아닌데 활동을 못하게 되니까
Mhm.
그 중간에 포기할까 생각했는데, 아, 그래도 계속 마음 한켠에 무대에 너무 쓰고 싶은 생각이 너무 많은 거예요. 왜냐면 어렸을 때부터 할 줄 아는 게 이것밖에 없으니까. 그래가지고 뭐 포기 안 하고 있다 보니까 이렇게 좋은 기회가 온 것 같아서 되게 에런한테도 되게 감사하고 되게 지금 이 프로젝트를 함께하는 모든 사람들한테 너무 감사해요.
Is there a moment looking back on that time as idols in the group that still makes you laugh, or a moment that makes you cringe? I know with Hooray for Idols, you could have some of those moments. So is there a moment that you think of like fondly remember?
We were very, very young. I was 17 and he was 18.
18.
So we were told that, oh, you just need to laugh and smile in the music video, right? And then we just been practicing like how to smile, how to be cute in front of the camera. And that's something new for us. We've never wanted to like on camera whole time and literally our cheeks are like all numbed because we smile too much. And I when I think about it right now on set at that time, it was still like cringy. Like even when I look at the music video now, I still feel like ugh, I do not. I want to erase that. I want to delete that from the internet. Like that's for me. Like it's very, very cringe.
저 같은 경우에는 처음에 데뷔하고 나서 중국에 가가지고 첫 예능 프로그램을 했을 때 그때 아무래도 그때도 중국어를 들을 수는 있었지만 이렇게 제가 말을 잘 못했거든요. 그래가지고 그때 이제 옆에서 중국 멤버들이 이렇게 토크를 하면은 저는 그냥 옆에서 형주랑 같이 그냥 하하하하 그냥 웃기만 하고 그때 좀 약간 혼자서 다른 사람은 모르겠지만 혼자서 되게 어색하고 되게 그 상황이 되게 웃기긴 한데
Mm,
그때는 어쩔 수 없었던 것 같아요. 그때는.
mm.
I guess be glad that all the social media wasn't big back then or didn't really exist back then, because now everything's just clipped and it
I
just
know.
put out like, oh, look at them just nodding along. So
I mean, even now, everything's clipped too, like from
mhm.
the from Idol Mamanse,
만만세.
and we're just like looking at that clip, we're like, oh, okay. And then people like to send us stuff. People like when they come across a video, they're like, oh, look what I saw. It's Idol Mamanse. We're like, oh, nice. Okay, yay.
There are a lot of, second and third gen groups who have done reunions. So I want to know if you could get the group back together to do a reunion song, would you do it? And then what style do you think you would come up with for a new release?
We would love to get 6 members all together in terms of styles, I want us to be cute again. Because at the very beginning we didn't want to be cute, but right now, we're older and we can be cute again. And then kind of just it's like going back in time. And we want to tell people that we're still here and we're still doing the same thing and trying to do more music and trying to keep just showing people who we are and just kind of like a reminder we're going back and we're still doing the same. We're still the same. We're still the same people and yeah.
You got to do the hair, like the swoop hair that you had, you know?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
The same
I
outfits and everything.
same
Yeah.
outfit. Exactly. With the spikes and everything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You've really
Yes.
got to bring back that 2012 terrible,
Exactly.
terrible, terrible. It was
We
like
need that.
all the fashion choices back then. I know it was a part of the time, but it was bad. So
Yeah, but we have to bring it back. The internet need us. The music industry needs that back.
do you guys feel, more freedom now as independent artists, or is it kind of more pressure because it's all on you to do it all?
Both. I think
Mhm.
both. We definitely feel more free now, since we can do whatever we want, whatever style that we like. But at the same time, it's very stressful to, because we don't have a professional or like a big team that help us anymore. So we literally have to do everything ourselves. Hair, we have to find people hair, makeup, and
컨셉.
concept, what to wear and what kind of thing that we can go for. And also, posting content is another huge thing because that's really one of the most important thing for promotion. So we have to constantly think about what content would people like to watch, what kind of shooting style that we need to do to catch more eyes, to catch more audience, to gain more followers, as independent artists. So I feel like both. That's a very good question. What about you? 你觉得呢?
아무래도 예전에는 아무래도 회사가 있었다 보니까 그때 당시에는 뭐든지 다 이제 회사가 해주는 대로, 회사가 원하는 대로 이렇게 움직였다면 지금은 오히려 두 명이다 보니까 회사 없이.
Mhm.
그 우리끼리 둘이서 하면은 좀 힘들긴 하지만 그래도 되게 재밌는 것 같아요. 왜냐면은 예전에는 회사 말을 들었지만 지금은 우리가 하고 싶은 거,
Mhm.
그렇게 남 시선이나 그런 거 안 듣고 진짜
Mhm.
우리가 하고 싶은 거를 우리끼리 하니까 힘들긴 하지만 재밌는 것 같아요.
And then getting into your music now, Aaron, tell me a little bit about your solo music over the last few years,
Yes.
and kind of what you've been doing, the styles you've wanted to be showing, and like how that's been going.
I didn't really have a style, to be
Mm.
honest. I was still on my way to explore who I really am as an independent artist. I tried so many styles. I tried so many ways to promote. I even changed my name so many times because I really didn't know who I was at that moment. But I feel like, well, even though that's a journey, right? Like everybody's exploring who they are truly every day. But I feel like I really do have a clear vision for me and for us now. If you compare to, a few years before, I dropped so many songs, but I really didn't have a clear mind who I was and what I wanted to do, what style that I want to go for. Yeah. And also, I feel like Juan, we kind of bring each other's inner child out and kind of just remind each other to be true to ourselves because we've known each other since we were teenagers, right? So whenever we see each other, it's such a good feeling. Even last night, we were practicing the whole dance, and I almost cried because it's such a oh my God, my goosebumps. It's such a really heartwarming moment when two people come together from the same group. 9 years after, we're still doing the same thing and trying to break through and trying to put music out there for people to listen. It was so magical. It was kind of like a deja vu moment for us.
Yeah, it's really cool to see too because that was such a good era for K-pop. That still, if anybody's been in K-pop for over 5 years, that's always their favorite era because like there
Yeah.
wasn't as much pressure to, oh, let's make this viral in America. Let's make this viral song for TikTok. So it was really just like putting out music that was kind of like unique to the country, to that era and everything. So like seeing you
Yes.
guys do that together, even as someone that like wasn't listening to K-pop in 2012, for me, I got the same feeling just like seeing how like happy you both look doing that, and it was just
Oh
so
yeah.
cool to see.
Thank you.
Yeah, Juan, doing this after so long. First of all, congratulations on the marriage, the wedding, and everything.
Thank you,
Um,
thank you,
of
thank you.
course, yeah. So what's it been like being back and doing this with Aaron?
일단 너무 하고 싶었던 일인데 이걸 다시 하게 돼서 되게 지금 설레고 살짝의 긴장감도 있고
Mm-hmm.
이런 게 되게 너무 좋은 것 같아요.
Mm.
뭔가 예전으로 다시 어렸을 때로 돌아간 느낌?
Mm.
약간의 긴장감, 그리고 약간, 되게 재밌을 것 같다.
How did the Oppa version of this song come about? Why did you call it that? And also, what was it like? What was it like seeing like nearly 1 million views on TikTok already? And reaching so many new people. I saw some of the comments were like, "Oh, wait, they're from Times and all this other
I
stuff." So,
know.
yeah, so what was
I
it
was
like?
I was so shocked when people recognize us from Times. I When I saw the comment, I immediately screenshotted it and sent it to him. I was like, damn, people still know us.
와우,
Yeah. And it was crazy that we get 1 million views on TikTok and
좋았어.
on Instagram. It was really, really cool. So it's actually a funny story. When I dropped this one song called Jia Xian without the Oppa version, right? Like this original version. I worked with my producer Mellow K, and we created this. We wanted to do like R&B, hip hop style, a little bit, you know, just very American, I would say, like a very American styled music. But um, few months after, I was talking to Juan. I was like, "Do you still want to do music?" And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay, let's do it. I have a song, but I think we can make it K-pop.
야,
Like let's go back in time and let's make it K-pop. And what would be a K-pop name for it? Let's add Oppa
오빠
version to it
버전.
because we're Oppa, right? So that's how it happened. And we kind of just changed the whole production, the whole how do you say that, like the instrumental, and change the way that we say things in the song. So that's a really good, interesting, funny way to kind of it's not intentional at all.
Yeah, because I listened to the original version. The original version is so good too, but you really changed up that entire song.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, did seeing that do so, did seeing how well that did on TikTok, did that maybe put in your head like, oh, maybe this style, maybe we should continue with this style. Maybe we should do another one like this.
Definitely, definitely. We are trying to put out an EP. We're trying to prepare for. We're thinking about 3 songs because we don't want to be too greedy. We're trying to include 3 songs, and yeah, seeing the results, people like what we do. And also, as a Chinese person, I believe in feng shui. If you put it in Korean, it's called parta. So I feel like when we are together, the chemistries are so good and people like it. So I feel like, oh, maybe that's the universe telling us to keep doing what we're doing. So yeah, definitely more to come.
So if you're doing this together, is it gonna be Aaron Young and Juan? Are you gonna come up with a like a unit name, or is it just gonna be like kind of a collab album?
Maybe. I think even if we want to do a group name, it'll probably be like Aaron Young and
환.
Juan. Yeah. Like very simple, very easy.
Hmm.
Because we're getting old now. We don't want to do all that. We don't want to do all that. We probably just very, very simple. Yeah.
Hmm.
But we're definitely gonna get that figured out because uh, this is his very first global debut as
네.
a solo artist or as a group, 2 people group. So yeah, definitely gonna get that fixed if we are going to drop that album.
Hmm. And
Yeah.
Juan, you've got to open some social media accounts because I was because I followed Aaron from that video and I was like, oh, I've got to follow him too. Nothing.
Yeah, that's what
Nothing.
I said. Oh my, thank you for
Yeah.
telling him that. I'm definitely going to make him make accounts.
Hmm.
Instagram, TikTok. You have to have
I
Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
I have make.
Yeah, yeah. Please do.
If you were going to give a message to your fans, the ones that maybe that have followed you since times or the ones keeping up with you now, what would that be? What do you want to say to them?
아무래도 팬분들을 무대 위에서 안 만나 본 지가 아무래도 시간이 많이 걸리다 보니까 이렇게 다시 활동할 수 있게 돼서 되게 감사드리고, 그리고 빨리 팬분들 만나보고 싶고, 보고 싶고, 그리고 일단 지금은 그때 당시와는 다르니까 이제 저희가 하는 음악들, 저희가 하는 이런 작품들에 대해서 많이 좋아해 주셨으면 좋겠어요.
Also, thank you guys so much for supporting us from the very beginning, even to new fans who followed us or getting a little idea of who we are from that one video. Thank you guys so much, and we have so much more to come. We have so much more content, videos to show you guys. So stay tuned, and thank you so much.